So day one of free agency, we got a lot of moves. So let's go down the list. We got Dwight Howard going to the 76ers. What do you make of this move?
Uh, it's not about the move; it's about the non-move. You leave the Lakers to go to the Sixers for basically the same amount of money. I think the Lakers are offering him about 3 mil. Sixers offered him about 2.6. I don't know. That tells me a lot. It tells me like some stuff was probably going on in that locker room. That Dwight didn't appreciate. No, they probably was talking bad about him, or maybe the pressure. I don't know. Something has to be going on. I think we're going to be finding out more about this later on in the offseason, but it has to be a reason Dwight left LA to go to the Sixers for less money. I think that's going to be one of the major topics for the next few weeks.
Well, I mean, I don't make anything much of it. It, he probably heard that the Lakers was about to sign Trez, and if he right like shortly after he originally tweeted out, okay, I'm coming back to the Lakers and that. Then he deleted the tweet, and then all the Trez news came on. Then we found out he signed with 76ers. So I don't feel like you sound like you're trying to stir up some drama.
No. Trez is a forward. Trez is a forward. Andy Davis is a forward. The Lakers still don't have a center. So you're telling me you rather go with a team that doesn't have a center you rather leave that team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis to go back up to Joel Embiid and the Sixers? Come on now, something has to be going on. Let's be realistic in
No,
this.
nothing's going on. I mean, 80, oh yeah, 80's a forward, whatever. But Dwight, he really 80's gonna move to the center
And you
spot.
sign for less money. It's not. Come on, come on. I'll bet you as much money as you want that we'll hear more about this for the next few
I
weeks.
don't think it's anything a big deal. But let's keep it going. Marcus Morris signs with the Clippers. I think it was 3 years, $60 million, something like that. What do you make of that?
4 years, 64 mil. It was kind of surprising. The average is kind of where I expected Morris around that $60 million range. I thought he could have got like maybe $60 million for like average for 2 years, but they gave him 4 years. I think it was a little bit lengthy, and I would give a guy like Morris. He is 31 years old, but he has been healthy. I guess he's the ultimate 3 and D guy that is not a superstar. He's a great role player. He has great size. He can defend like one. He can defend 1 to 4. He can shoot to three. I think they're looking at him was like, okay, this is one of the guys you got to keep. Clippers got to keep some guys. You know what I'm saying? So I guess they're looking at Morris and like, well, there's nothing better than Morris at the forward position that was going to be on the free agent market. So why not bring the guy back? So I guess you have to overpay a little bit if you just want to give him that extra years. I don't think they should give him 4, maybe 2, 3.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of overpaid him. I mean, he wasn't that great for them. He looked good on the Knicks, so obviously because of the Knicks, and he was like some games he was running point for them. We don't know what's happening. He was just jacking up a bunch of shots. He averaged like 20 points with them. And then he came into the Clippers and he was taking a bunch of shots because he didn't really know where to fit in, and he ultimately they didn't really he never really found got that sync with the Clippers. I felt. I mean, they really need to bring him back because I feel like it's still a good move for them because it ensures their defense and it gives you a guy who could space the floor as well. Let's keep
I don't
him.
think that's him. I think that's more so the Clippers. Nobody was really in sync with the Clippers. There was just a lot of guys just getting a lot of points. But I think an idea of continuity, I think with Ty Lue in there, I think he'll have a more defined role. He'll understand that. And I think they'll be good.
Yeah, I mean they'll definitely he'll look better now that Trez is gone because there'll be more points to go around and stuff like that, and they're not as deep, so he'll definitely look a lot better. Jordan Clarkson signs with the Utah Jazz. He's a 6 man. I can't remember how much they gave him.
It
What
was
do you
four
make of it?
years, 52 mil.
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, he's just 6 months. He played really great for Utah. He hasn't been great. He wasn't great on the Lakers. He wasn't great in Cleveland, and he went to Utah. And he really found a home. He was at 6 months. I think he was averaging like 16 points coming off the bench for Utah. He looked great in that role. So I guess if you're a guy like him, you getting what was that about $13 million on average for the next 4 years. Jordan Clarkson, I think he's probably worth that because he's probably going to be playing starter minutes. He's going to probably be playing that Lou Will type of role. So I think that's a good deal for both sides.
I feel like it was a bit of a overpay for Jordan Clarkson. He played well. Like we haven't seen him play well anywhere else. Obviously the Lakers and then Cleveland, and then I can't remember where he went after that. Maybe he went to Utah, but they he definitely played well for them in the playoffs. And I mean, he maybe going forward he could be that six man off the bench and just keep it rolling.
Oh,
But I feel
what
like
Utah did, Utah gave him a role. When he was on the Lakers, he didn't really have a role. Everybody on the Lakers team was terrible. He went to Cleveland, he didn't really have a role. They didn't know what to do with that franchise. He came in Utah and Snyder looked at him was like, "You're gonna be our sixth man. This is what we want you to do." I think that some guys just need that specific role and they strive in that. I think you got to pay a guy for what he is to your team. I think for this team, he obviously strived in the role. He played great for them, and I say, and they reward him. I think it's gonna be good going forward.
all right, let's keep it moving. The Rockets get Christian Wood. What do you make it as move by the Rockets? He'll be getting about $14 million annually.
This is a great move for the Rockets. A lot of people don't know about Christian Wood. Christian Wood is one of the best big minds in the game. Because he was in Detroit last year. A lot of people they really don't even know who Christian Wood is. This guy is the ultimate defensive guy. He can get you boards. He can rim block. He can rim run. Like this guy. This is a great guy. I actually wanted the Celtics to get this guy, but I know he was going to be a little bit out of our budget, probably out of a few teams' budget that wanted him. I heard it was a few teams that really was out for him. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that the Rockets get him, the fact that they actually signed a center, I think should be new because we know how their roster is with everyone under 6'5". But I think he'd be good. I love this signing for the Rockets. Christian Wood is a pretty good player.
Yeah, the Rockets desperately needed a center because PJ Tucker is that is not. I tell everybody the Rockets did not go to small ball; they went to micro ball because you can't just play. You can't have a team with everyone under 6'5". That's ridiculous. He will help them, and I feel like they definitely needed a different style of play. And hopefully, they start him and get rid of that small ball just completely. And this will definitely fit well with the Rockets. Now let's talk about Bertans with the Wizards. He signs a 5-year, $80 million deal, and John Wall. We heard the news of John Wall wanted out tonight. I mean, I don't think that was nope. No, I don't. No, I don't know where John Wall's going to go. He hasn't been in the league for 2 years. Nobody really cares about it. Everybody forgot about him. What's going on with the Wizards?
There's gonna be some bad teams that's gonna be looking at John Wall. So I mean, I think there's always a market for guys like John Wall. I honestly think he'd be better to trade for than Westbrook because teams Westbrook is. Westbrook, he's just gonna come in, he's gonna take all the shots for your franchise. He's gonna come in to get triple doubles, and then you're gonna get bounced. I think if you bring John Wall in, I think John Wall will add more to your system. So I think teams will probably be more open to adding John Wall, although the contract is lengthy. But Bertans is probably the best big man on the market at this point. Because this guy can stretch the floor, he can get rebounds. This is the ultimate like stretch big man. Like if you need offense from your big spot, you need a guy like Bertans. I know a lot of teams is going to be coming after him. I know he's going to get a lot of money. You see, he got that $80 million contract. He probably could have gotten more. Honestly, he probably could have gotten about 22 mil on average. But obviously, he went with security and went with the 5 years from Washington. It's not surprising to me because I think the Bertans is pretty good, and obviously other teams think so as well. But I mean, we know what they are. I'm not expecting too much from them. Hopefully, John Wall comes back and he can be good. I don't know if he gets traded or not. I just don't see it at this juncture.
Okay, well, first of all, I think what you just said, I can't let if you think trading for John Wall is better than trading for Westbrook, you're crazy because they're arguably the same player. Like John Wall maybe just shoot better like a little bit, but what has John Wall done? What has Westbrook done? They're basically the same player. And Westbrook has been out. John Wall hasn't played in over 2 years. Like that's ridiculous. We don't know what he's going to be. We know what Westbrook is, and they're making the same money. So if I'm a team, I'm trading for Westbrook before I trade for John Wall, and Davis Bertans signed in for 5 years, $80 million. This is a good deal. He getting $20 million a year, and like you said, he is a really um, good stretch big man. And I feel like I mean, I don't know what the Wizards are going to do with John Wall. I feel like they do want to trade him. Obviously they was hoping that this season that he missed most of the season because they didn't want to pay him on the insurance. I think the insurance covered 75% of his contract, and they was hoping that happened. So I feel like the Wizards they do want to get rid of John Wall. I don't know if it's going to happen. I feel like if you do get rid of John Wall, cheapest you just maybe blow the whole thing up because we saw what they are with Bradley Beal and Bertans. They're not going anywhere with those guys. So I mean, the ceiling's pretty low for them as of right now.
Why it's easy to have John Wall in your team? John Wall can play in your system. John Wall can play defense. Russell Westbrook, he comes on your team. There's no system. It's going to be Russell Westbrook ball. He's going to take a lot of shots. He's going to miss a lot of shots. He's going to try to get triple doubles. He's going to try to win MVP. You're probably not going to get past the first round. You can pit a team around John Wall where it's not centered on him, and you can say, okay, play point guard for us, and let's play team ball. I think John Wall is perfect to play team ball. Russell Westbrook is not going to play team ball. He's going to play Westbrook ball, and that's going to be it for your franchise. If the price is the same, but I think it'd be easier to trade for John Wall because, once you have space, you can get John Wall. You don't need to give up much for John Wall once you have cap space. But I think team are more willing to trade for him because he's not as stubborn as Westbrook. Everybody knows who Westbrook is. You ask out, I mean, you had Kevin Durant, you had Paul George, you had Melo, you had Harden, and none of those things worked out. I think teams already know Westbrook is. He just wants to win MVPs at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think if the brother ain't played in 2 years, you just can't ignore that. A large part of his game was predicated on his athleticism and coming off of what he hit his Achilles twice or something like that. I don't even know what the whole story was, but I just feel like he can't shoot. A large part of his game was predicated on his athleticism, and yeah, he could fit into a system, but I feel like Westbrook has just a higher value than John Wall. I don't feel like there's much of a market for John Wall right
Well, we see the market for Westbrook. There was really two teams. There was Charlotte and New York. Charlotte moved on already. And New York, they haven't said much about him. So it's really no market for Westbrook either for all those things you just said.
now. Yeah.